That is the field before the lines and bases are put down. The grounds crew performs the same ritual for every game on every field, laying chalk lines, putting down bases, mowing the outfield. It's as timeless as the game itself, and it's all in anticipation of two words: play ball.
Once again, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Dixie Youth Ozone 2019 State Tournament. Live on the Beaufort County Channel from Oscar Frazier Park in beautiful Bluffton, South Carolina. In the first game, North Myrtle Beach defeated Union County 11-10. Another great matchup here on the Beaufort County Channel. That win puts North Myrtle Beach into the championship day tomorrow, Thursday, and unfortunately, the loss sends Union home, but those young men played with a lot of heart all tournament long. So this game features the host team, Bluffton American. They will play the visiting team versus the only undefeated team in the tournament, the team from Edgefield County. And as the game goes, we'll have to explain the different scenarios that will play out tomorrow on Championship Thursday. There are a couple of different scenarios, but we'll get to that as the game goes. First, Bluffton American will be first to bat. They are the away team. Colin Hetzel, Jackson Arsenault, Nico Martucci, the first three for Bluffton American versus Daly Hitt and Edgefield County. And Daly Hitt into the wind. His first pitch of the evening misses outside, ball one. We are underway. In game two of Wednesday night Dixie Youth Baseball right here live on the Beaufort County Channel. Daly Hitt into the wind. The pitch is hit right back to the mound and on to first in time. One up, one down here in the top of the first.
Now batting, number 4, Jackson.
And now it'll be the center fielder, Jackson Arsenault. Arsenault, a good hitter, left-handed batter. He digs in. Daly Hitt into the wind. The pitch on the way is a bunt, and it's a good bunt. Fielded by Daly Hitt. The throw on to first is in time. Good idea by Jackson Arsenault, but perfectly executed on the pick and the throw by Daly Hitt, and it's two up and two down in the top of the first. And now here's that young man again for Bluffton American, the first baseman, Nico Martucci. He's hit and he's pitched well this entire tournament. A couple of home runs, one of them a grand slam, the other a game-tying two-run home run against Sumter a couple days ago. He's also pitched well. Threw 85 or 86 pitches here the other night. This young man's done it all. And he has one of the all-time great home run trots I've ever seen in baseball. He hits that toward the second baseman who fields it on a nice hop onto first in time. Very easy top of the first for Daly Hitt and Edgefield County. So nothing doing for Bluffton American. A very quick top of the first. We go to the bottom of the first. No score from Oscar Frazier Park in Bluffton, South Carolina. We'll be right back right here live on the Beaufort County Channel. We go to the bottom of the first. No score in this second of two games on the County Channel. Again, if you're just joining us, North Myrtle Beach defeated Union County in the first game on the County Channel, 11-10. A great back and forth game. North Myrtle Beach held a 6-run lead at one point. Union came back to tie the game 8-8. North Myrtle Beach won 11-10. A nail biter, and kind of represents what we've seen all week long from these young men in the Dixie Youth Ozone. Tremendous baseball, tremendous skills, tremendous instincts all the way around. And there's a nice shot of the infield here at Oscar Frazier Park. As Edgefield County comes to bat here in the bottom of the first, Braden McAllister, Addison Faust, and Justice Hammett will be the first three against Henry Parrott, who was on the mound for Bluffton.
Leading it off here at Edgefield County All-Stars, number 19, Braden McAllister.
So here's Braden McAllister leading off for Edgefield County. One ball and no strikes to Braden McAllister. One 0 pitch on the way. Hit back up the middle and into center field. It's a leadoff base hit for Edgefield and a good start to the bottom of the first. That'll bring up the center fielder Addison Faust.
Now number 9, Addison Faust.
The pitch to Faust is tapped foul down the third baseline. No balls, one strike. Faust again digs in. Henry Parrott looks in, gets his sign from Scotty Boudreau, the catcher for Bluffton. Runner going, pitch is hit out towards second, fielded by the second baseman on to first in time. The runner never stopped, and he's going to take third base. We saw this in the first game between North Myrtle Beach and Union, some very aggressive base running, some heads-up base running, always taking the extra base. And Edgefield did at that time. Braden McAllister never stopped running, and he makes it all the way around to third on the ground out. And Justice Hammett will now be the batter for Edgefield, and a chance for Edgefield to take an early lead. Henry Parrott into the wind, the pitch on the way to Hammett. Hit out towards short, fielded on a hop by the shortstop, on to first in time. Some more good infield defense, and that's the second out in the inning. A run scores for Edgefield on the ground out, and they do break out on top. It's 1-0 Edgefield. Base is now empty. And Evan Bates, the batter. One run in, 2 outs here in the bottom of the second inning. Bottom of the first inning. Check that. I didn't think that sounded right. Been a long night, folks. 2-0 pitch on the way to Evan Bates. Hit on a line right to the shortstop, who grabs it for the third out here in the bottom of the first inning. But Edgefield grabs the lead. They score 1. We head to the top of the second inning. Edgefield on top 1-0. You're watching the 2019 Dixie Youth Ozone Baseball Championship right here live on the Beaufort County Channel. We'll be right back.
Score after 1 complete. Bluffton All-American 0, Edgefield County 1.
The County Channel is also available on video on demand. Go to BeaufortCountySC.gov Scroll down to Public Meetings, click Watch Now, and then click the Video on Demand button and select your program from the list.
Call the meeting to order.
If you'd like a DVD of this program, click on the link on the right and fill out the order form. And thank you for watching the County Channel.
We go to the top of the second with Edgefield on top 1-0. Bradley Robbins, Miles Fry, Roman Colella, the first three for Bluffton American. Daly Hitt still on the mound for Edgefield. And the count's even now. 1 ball, 1 strike to Robbins. That is a high. Was it a chop or was it in the air? I couldn't tell. It was a pop up to the third baseman, and that's 1 out here in the top of the second. I couldn't tell if it was a chop off the plate or if it was an actual pop fly, but it was a pop fly, and it's 1 out, and that brings up Miles Fry.
Miles Fry.
Pitch on the way to Fry. Line drive into center field, going to get down for a base hit, and that's Bluffton's first hit of the game. A solid single to left center by Miles Fry. And that'll bring up Roman Colella, the left fielder. We have a lot of viewers tuning in, especially 3 special ones. My kids, Zoe, Rosie, and Jonah, are all tuning in. Hope you're enjoying watching the baseball, guys. I love you. As that's fouled up toward third. And the count's no balls and 1 strike to Roman Colella. So the situation for tomorrow could get very interesting. If Edgefield wins this game, they will remain the only unbeaten team in this tournament. They will have eliminated Bluffton American. That means that Edgefield and North Myrtle Beach would play tomorrow at 10 o'clock. If Edgefield were to win that game, they would be the champions, and they would do so in an undefeated state. If they lose that game, if North Myrtle Beach would lose that first game, then they would play a second game because this is a double elimination tournament. Runner goes from first. The pitch is in the dirt and gets away from the catcher. Or was it foul? It's a foul ball. And the count's 0-2. So if Edgefield beats Bluffton American this game, they would play North Myrtle Beach tomorrow at 10 a.m. If Edgefield wins that game, they would win the tournament. If North Myrtle Beach would come out ahead in that game, then there would be a second game at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, because that would be Edgefield's first loss in a double elimination tournament. Took me 15 minutes to understand that a little while ago, as it's a stolen base. But if Bluffton wins this game, things get real interesting. Then there would be a coin flip for the first game at 10 a.m. because North Myrtle Beach has already had a bye. So the coin flip would be to see, as the pitch to the plate is hit hard out toward short, fielded by the shortstop on to first in time, and that will retire the side in the top of the second. We'll revisit how the bracket could work if Bluffton wins when we come back. You're watching Dixie Youth Ozone State Championship Baseball live on the Beaufort County Channel. We'll be right back. All right, folks, welcome back to the bottom of the second. Edgefield on top 1-0. So before we went to the break, after the last half inning, we were talking about the different possible scenarios for tomorrow. And just to review, Edgefield stands as the only undefeated team in this tournament. If they defeat Bluffton American in this game, they will still be undefeated and they will knock out Bluffton American. They would then play North Myrtle Beach tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. If Edgefield were to win that game tomorrow at 10 a.m. versus North Myrtle Beach, they would be crowned the champion of the tournament, and they would do so being undefeated. But if North Myrtle Beach were to win the game at 10 a.m., there would be a second game, because this is a double elimination tournament, and that second game would be the winner-take-all game between North Myrtle Beach and Edgefield. If Bluffton wins this game, and because North Myrtle Beach has already had a bye in this tournament, they can't have a second bye, so they will automatically play the first game tomorrow at 10 a.m. The coin flip would be between Bluffton American and Edgefield to see who would play Myrtle Beach in that first game. And whoever wins the coin flip would get the bye, and they would appear automatically in the championship game. It's a little confusing, but it makes for a lot of excitement. So Bluffton American wins this game, they stay alive. There's a coin flip, and then we'll sort it out tomorrow is basically the way it stands. And, of course, we'll have all the action for you live right here on the Beaufort County Channel and at BeaufortCountySC.gov. But first things first, let's get through this game, and right now Edgefield holds a 1-0 lead over Bluffton American. And if you tuned in with us Monday night for the marathon game that ended felt like about 4 a.m. It was about 12:15 when it ended. That game was between Edgefield and Union County, the game that Edgefield won in walk-off variety in the bottom of the 10th, as that's a leadoff single for Edgefield. That's Jay Willis with a leadoff single, and a good start for Edgefield here in the bottom of the second. We have just seen tremendous baseball all tournament long, and there's a great view of field number 3, the Leo Vanoni Memorial Field at Oscar Frazier Park. Gorgeous baseball complex. And the leadoff man aboard for Edgefield in the bottom of the second. Gage Cockrell, the batter for Edgefield. They lead 1-0, trying to get some more. Henry Parrott still on the mound for Bluffton American. And a pitch out and a fake to first. And it's ball 1 to Gage Cockrell. And wherever you're tuning in, and we had listeners in Kansas and Chicago and Atlanta, all over the country, we appreciate you tuning in to the Beaufort County Channel and BeaufortCountySC.gov. It's our pleasure to bring you all the action from this Dixie Boys Ozone Tournament. Willis leads off first. It's a 1-ball, no-strike count to Gage Cockrell. Pitch on the way is hit into left field, a base hit. Edgefield's got the first 2 men aboard in the bottom of the second. And that will bring up Darius Simpkins. I haven't heard how tall this young man is. but he's got to be 6'1" or 6'2". He is a tall young man, a strong young man, and he bats now for Edgefield with runners on first and second, nobody out in the bottom of the second inning. Parrott into the wind, the pitch on the way to Simpkins, big swing and a miss for strike one. I'll go over the scenarios again before the game ends in case you missed it, because it is a little confusing. But regardless of how it plays out, some exciting baseball will be on tap tomorrow here at Oscar Frazier Park beginning at 10 a.m. And we will crown a champion tomorrow. 0-1 pitch on the way to Simpkins. He squared to bunt, and I think he got hit, and he did. And Simpkins is going to trot down to first, and trouble here for Bluffton American. The bases are loaded with nobody out. And Daly Hitt, one of the great baseball names, will now be the batter. 1-0 Edgefield as they bat here in the bottom of the second. They have the bases loaded. There's nobody out. And Daly Hitt, the pitcher for Edgefield, the batter. And now a delay as the coach for Bluffton American called over to the home plate umpire for a little discussion about what, I'm not sure. They're talking about whether Darius Simpkins was squared around a bunt when he was hit by the pitch that put him on first. Bluffton's coach arguing his point. And he's pretty emphatic in his position on this. V-E-R-M-I-L-Y-E-A. Y-E-A. Y like yes. So the call stands. The bases are loaded. There's nobody out. And trouble for Henry Parrott and Bluffton American. Daly Hitt stands in. Runners get their leads off first, second, and third. Henry Parrott gets his sign from Scotty Boudreau, and the pitch to the plate. Big swing and a miss by Daly Hitt. No balls and a strike. The count. New catcher for Bluffton. It's Max Van Esselston behind the plate. So check that. Scotty Boudreau no longer catching. And the pitch sweeps outside to Daly Hitt, and the count evens. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bluffton plays in at the corners, even at short and second. And the 1-1 pitch on the way is fouled back to the screen. The count now 1-2 on Daly Hitt. One ball, 2 strikes to Daly Hitt. Bases are loaded. Nobody out. Edgefield leads 1-0. Henry Parrott into the wind. The pitch is outside all the way to the screen. The runner from third breaks for home. Close play, and he's out at home. Jay Willis tried to score from third on the wild pitch. Good defense by Bluffton American. Guns him down at home. Keeps the score at 1-0 and puts 1 out on the scoreboard. Great defense there by Bluffton American. The other 2 runners advance to second and third. But there's now 1 out in the inning, and it's a 2-2 count on Daly Hitt. Henry Parrott gets a sign from Max Van Esselston. And the pitch to the plate is hit down the left field line, just foul. Foul by maybe a foot. Hit stands back in. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count. The runners lead off second and third. Henry Parrott with a long look in. Now he gets the sign he wants. He comes set and he fires the 2-2 pitch. And there's a swing and a miss by Daly Hitt for strike 3, and that is a huge strikeout for Henry Parrott and Bluffton American. That puts 2 outs on the board. Leaves the runners at second and third. And now it'll take a 2-out hit from Ethan Stovall if Edgefield's going to extend their 1-run lead. Parrott works quickly, and he throws it behind Stovall's head all the way to the screen, but so hard the runners do not have a chance to advance. So it's just ball 1 to Ethan Stovall. Parrott again ready. The pitch to the plate's high, and the count goes to 2-0. The lights are on here at Oscar Frazier, and we are so happy that at least so far the weather has decided to dance around the ballpark. Some pretty nasty stuff out to our west, but it's behaved nicely and stayed away from Oscar Frazier. Runners get their leads off second and third. 2 ball, no strike count to Ethan Stovall. The pitch on the way is a big swing and a miss, and the count's now 2-1. Looks like Henry Parrott has some pretty good off-speed stuff, curveballs, changeups, and he seems to be keeping Edgefield off balance here in the bottom of the second inning. Parrott comes set, 2-1 pitch on the way. That's hit high and deep to left field, back toward the wall. That is up against the wall. 2 runs are going to score, and Ethan Stovall motors into second with a 2-out, 2-run double. Edgefield now leads 3-0. Stovall didn't miss by much of getting that ball right out of here, right up against the left field wall. So a big 2-out, 2-run double by Stovall gives Edgefield a 3-run advantage. Stovall becomes the runner at second, still with 2 outs. And now Keith Newsom-Jones, the batter. Parrott into the winds. Newsom-Jones squares to bunt and takes a ball, I believe. 1 ball, no strikes, the count. Edgefield County on top of the host team, Bluffton American, 3-0 in the bottom of the second inning. Henry Parrott again ready. Newsom-Jones squares to bunt. Didn't pull the bat back in time, and it's a strike, and the count's even now 1-1. Runner leads off second. Parrott gives him a look, and he brings the 1-1 pitch to the plate. And there's a swing and a miss, and the count's 1-2. Parrott again ready. 1-2 pitch on the way. Again, Newsom-Jones squares to bunt. And he bunts it foul, and that's a strikeout, and that will end the bottom of the second inning. But Edgefield hangs a 2 spot on the board, and we go to the top of the third. Edgefield on top of the host team, Bluffton American, 3-0. You are watching the 2019 Dixie Ozone State Baseball Tournament live right here on the Beaufort County Channel. We'll be right back for the top of the third. We go to the top of the third here at Oscar Frazier Park, Edgefield County with a 3-0 lead, and there's a beautiful overhead shot of Oscar Frazier Park, and beyond that, the beautiful city of Bluffton, South Carolina. It's turned into a beautiful night for baseball, and so far in this game, a beautiful night for Edgefield. They lead 3-0. Scotty Boudreau, Talon Putnam, and Henry Parrott, the first three for Bluffton American as they bat in the top of the third. And there's a good cut and a foul back to the screen for strike one. Daly Hitt still on the mound for Edgefield. A 1 pitch on the way, off speed pitch, curveball, good one. Finds a strike zone and takes the count to 0-2. There's a fastball that's hit out to second, knocked down by the second baseman, but he keeps it in front of him and throws on to first in time. Edgefield, as we've said a couple times, the only undefeated team still remaining in this tournament. So if they defeat Bluffton American, if they hold on and defeat Bluffton American, they will face North Myrtle Beach tomorrow at 10 o'clock. If Edgefield were to win that game at 10 a.m. versus North Myrtle Beach, they would be crowned the Ozone State champions. If North Myrtle Beach were to win that game, that's hit into right field, and a diving try, but the ball gets in. It's a one-out single for Talon Putnam and a base runner for Bluffton. If Edgefield wins the first game tomorrow versus North Myrtle Beach, they would be crowned the champions. If North Myrtle Beach were to win that game, then there would be a second game, because that would be Edgefield's first loss, and this is a double elimination tournament. And then that would be a winner-take-all game, the second game between North Myrtle Beach and Edgefield. That's one scenario. There's a second, slightly more confusing scenario if Bluffton American were to come back and win this game. And we'll unpack that here as we move along. But runner on first for Bluffton American, one out here in the top of the third. They're down by 3. Every run, base runner important. And Henry Parrott, the pitcher, stands in for Bluffton American. Parrott stands in. Daly Hitt comes set. Looks the runner back to first, brings it to the plate, and it's behind and hits Henry Parrott, so it's a hit batsman. And an important runner on base for Bluffton American. That brings the tying run to the plate. And Colton Young will be the batter. So Bluffton American with 2 runners on, just the 1 out, down by 3. So while we have a second, let's talk a little bit about what happens if Bluffton American wins this game. If Bluffton American were to come back and win this game, that would be Edgefield's first loss of the tournament. What would happen then, because Myrtle Beach has already drawn a bye, they would be forced to play the 10 a.m. game regardless. There would be a coin flip between Bluffton and Edgefield to see who would play North Myrtle Beach in that 10 o'clock game. Whoever wins the coin flip would automatically, therefore, be in the championship game, which would be the second game tomorrow. Because you have to remember, this is a double elimination tournament, and Edgefield's undefeated, and that's where the curveball is kind of being thrown. There's a swing and a miss by Colton Young. No balls and 1 strike, with Bluffton American trying to get back in the game. They have 2 men on with just 1 out here in the top of the third. Oh, 1 pitch on the way. Misses up high, and the count's 1-1. But before any of those scenarios I just talked about happen, we got to get through this game. And right now Edgefield leads 3-0, but Bluffton trying to get back in it. 1-1 pitch on the way to Colton Young from Daly Hitt. Here it is, and it's fouled back to the screen. And the count now 1-2. Runners lead off first and second. Colton Young digs in and he awaits the 1-2 pitch from Daly Hitt. Here it is. Curveball that didn't curve, and the count's even now, 2-2. Two-two pitch on the way. Check swing. Did he go around? I believe he did. They appealed to first. He did, and that's strike three. Colton Young goes down on a check swing strike. That's 2 outs in the top of the third. Runners still at first and second, and Tannen Mankowski will be the batter for Bluffton American. So here's Mankowski. Runners lead off first and second. Hit into the wind, the pitch on the way. There's a foul ball up past first for strike one. Runners were on the move. They'll have to go back to first and second. Mankowski waves the bat back and forth, and he awaits the pitch, and he takes it outside, and the count's even now 1-1. The pitchers are on an 85 pitch limit. If that 85th pitch happens to come up in the middle of an at-bat, they are permitted to finish the at-bat, but that's the last batter that they would face. And that pitch is popped up into shallow left field. Everybody chases it. The ball falls in. No catch. And a run's going to score for Bluffton American, and they do cut into Edgefield's lead. It's now 3-1. And runners are now on first and third with a run in for Bluffton American. And back to the top of the order, and Colin Hetzel will be the batter. So a perfectly placed pop-up. I've sometimes heard that referred to as a duck snort. Perfectly placed little pop-up falls in and gives Bluffton their first run of this game. And they get one of the runs back. It's a 3-1 game. Tell you what, one of the things that's impressed me the most in covering these games is the poise of these young men. They seem to have ice water in their veins. They just do not get intimidated by any situation. Runner goes from first. No throw, and Bluffton with the tying runs now in scoring position. And it's a 1-ball and no strike count to Colin Hetzel. Daly Hitt with a look in. And Hetzel awaits the 1-0 pitch. And he swings and hits it up toward first. It takes a funny hop and goes foul. That was almost a lucky break for Bluffton American, but the ball went foul. So we'll do it again. The count is 1-1. Runners will return to second and third. A 3-1 game. Edgefield County has the lead, but Bluffton American with the tying runs on second and third. And a 1-1 pitch due to Colin Hetzel. Here it is, off-speed pitch. Curves around the plate, and it's ball 2. 2-1 the count. Hit, comes set. And the pitch is smacked into left field, a base hit. Bluffton Americans going to try to tie the game, and they do on a 2-out, 2-run single by Colin Hetzel. We are all tied 3-3. Just as Union did in the first game this evening when they came back and scored 6 to tie the game at 8 versus Northern Myrtle Beach. Bluffton American comes back and scores 3 to tie the game at 3 here in the top of the third inning. I just got through saying these young men are not intimidated by any situation. And Colin Hetzel with a rope into left field, his 2-run single has tied the ball game. And a pitching change for Edgefield. Daily Hit's evening is finished. And it is Cole Beagles will now be in to pitch for Edgefield. So on the throw home on that base hit, Colin Hetzel takes second, so Bluffton with the tying run in scoring position and 2 outs and a chance to take the lead. And a good man up at bat to do that, Jackson Arsenault. But first, Cole Beagles will have some warm-up tosses to get loose. Bluffton with 3 runs here in the top of the third, and they tie things up 3-3. We started with 12 teams in this tournament on Saturday morning. We are down to 3. Union County was eliminated in the first game we broadcast on the Beaufort County Channel. A close game, a great game, 11-10. Northern Myrtle Beach moves on to Championship Thursday. Union goes home with their heads held high. And a great effort. And again, Edgefield trying to remain the only undefeated team in this tournament. They led 3-0. Now it's tied 3-3. And to repeat just one more time, if Edgefield wins this game, they will remain undefeated. If they beat Northern Myrtle Beach at tomorrow's 10 a.m. game, they would be the champions and they would be undefeated champions. If Northern Myrtle Beach were to win the 10 a.m. game versus Edgefield, they would play a winner-take-all game at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So here we go. Runner leads off second. That's Colin Hetzel. His 2-run single tied the game. Jackson Arsenault is going to try to give Bluffton American the lead, and he takes strike 1 from Cole Beagles. Another good baseball at aim. Beagles with the sign, gives the runner a look back, and now he steps off. There's a good shot of Beagles as he looks in to get his sign. He gets the one he wants, and to the plate, and Arsenault swings and hits it toward third. Great pick by the third baseman across to first in time. More great defense by Edgefield County. And Jackson Arsenault thrown out, a bang-bang play at first, but called out, and that ends the top of the third, but not before. Bluffton American ties the game. Colin Hetzel's 2-run single has evened the score at 3-3 as we go to the bottom of the third right here on the Beaufort County Channel. We'll be right back.
First row, Miles Fry.
We go to the bottom of the third, a brand new ball game. Everybody tied up 3-3. Miles Fry will take over on the mound for Bluffton America, and Henry Parrott, who was pitching, now goes behind the plate and catches Miles Fry. So some defensive changes for Bluffton American, who have tied the game. A 2-run single by Colin Hetzel. The big blow for Bluffton American. And Miles Fry will try to hold Edgefield County right where they are and try to get a victory in this game and create an interesting situation for tomorrow's Championship Thursday. First pitch from Fry is a little chin music to Griffin Thompson, who leads off the bottom of the third for Edgefield. Fry again ready. The pitch on the way is hit into center field and caught out there for the first out in the bottom of the third. So 1 out, base is empty, and now the pitcher for Edgefield, Cole Beagle, strides to the plate. And there's a strike, no balls and 1 strike. And there's a ball outside, and that evens the count now 1-1. Another way to look at the second scenario that's possible tomorrow is to look at it this way. Northern Myrtle Beach, either way, is in the 10 o'clock game. Regardless of what happens between Bluffton American and Edgefield, Northern Myrtle Beach is in the 10 o'clock game. What will happen if Bluffton wins is there will need to be a coin flip between Bluffton and Edgefield, because Northern Myrtle Beach has already had a bye in this tournament. They can't have a second bye. So that coin flip would be to determine who would play Northern Myrtle Beach in the 10 o'clock game. If Bluffton wins the coin flip, that means they would sit out the first game. It would be Northern Myrtle Beach versus Edgefield, and Bluffton would meet the winner of that game for the winner-take-all second game of the day. It's a very interesting scenario that could potentially develop, as there's a that's a walk to Cole Beagles, a 1-out walk. And now back to the top of the order, and Braden McAllister. So the only way we would not have 2 games tomorrow is if Edgefield wins this game versus Bluffton American and then wins the first game tomorrow at 10 o'clock versus Northern Myrtle Beach. If that happens, they would be the champions. Yes. But first things first, long way to go in this game, and we are all tied up 3-3. So before any of those scenarios become a reality, we got to get through this game. And right now, it's a good one. 3-3 the score. Edgefield with a runner on first and 1 out in the bottom of the third. Braden McAllister stands in. Miles Fry on the mound for Bluffton, and now he steps off. Bothered by something, I'm not sure what, maybe because the coach wasn't. And now Bluffton's coach is going to come in and talk to the umpire. Not sure about what. Outback or Longhorn? That's what they're talking about.
Your count on that, you had four balls, right?
It may be a pitch count issue. I'm not sure. The umpires.
Yeah, I'll try to find it.
They've just called up to the press box for the tournament director. Not sure exactly what's going on, but there'll be a temporary delay. So while we have a second, why don't we again just make sure everybody understands what's going on here. So if Edgefield County wins this game versus Bluffton American, they will face Northern Myrtle Beach at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. If Edgefield wins that game tomorrow morning at 10 a.m., they are the champions. If Northern Myrtle Beach wins the game tomorrow at 10 a.m. versus Edgefield, that sets up a winner-take-all between Edgefield and Northern Myrtle Beach at 2 o'clock, as that would be Edgefield's first loss in the tournament. If Bluffton American wins the game, because Northern Myrtle Beach has already drawn one bye in this tournament, they are forced to play the 10 a.m. game tomorrow. The coin flip would be to determine who would sit out the first game, get the bye, and who would play the first game. Whoever wins the coin flip would automatically be in the championship game, and they would be met by the winner of whoever loses the coin flip at Northern Myrtle Beach. That's where it stands, and we're sorting out whatever's going on down on the field. We're still not sure exactly what's going on. But it seems like whatever the question they might have had has been sorted out, and there you see a gorgeous shot as we fade back into field number 3, the Leo Vanoni Memorial Field here at Oscar Frazier Park. Edgefield has a runner on first. There's only one out. Braden McAllister, the batter, and he fouls it off. Runner leads off first. 0-1 pitch on the way. Misses for ball 1. The count's even now, 1 ball, 1 strike. Popped up, foul territory, out of play, and a souvenir for somebody as the count goes to 1-2 to Braden McAllister. Cole Beagles, the runner at first. There is one out in the bottom of the third in a tie game. 3-3 the score. Miles Fry into the wind. The pitch over McAllister's head, and the count's even now 2-2. Pitch on the way is hit on the ground into left field, going to be a base hit. And Edgefield has runners now first and second with one out. That's a single for Braden McAllister, and that'll bring Addison Faust to the plate. So Edgefield tries to regain the lead here in the bottom of the third. Edgefield led this game at one point 3-0, but Bluffton American came back to tie the game in the top of the third. Now Edgefield tries to reclaim the lead. The runners get their leads off first and second. The pitch to the plate misses for ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes to Addison Faust. Fry with a long look in. And too much time, Addison Faust steps out. Now we're ready to go. Faust back in there. Fry looks the runners back. And brings now, he throws back towards second. Cole Beagle standing on the bag. Faust awaits the 1-0 pitch from Miles Fry. Here it is. And it's taken for a strike, and the count's even now 1-1. One pitch on the way. Off speed pitch, catches the inside corner for a strike. 1-2 the count. Bluffton lining up, playing there in the third baseman, kind of even with the bag at third, kind of medium depth all the way around the infield, and straight away in the outfield. as the count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes to Addison Faust. Runners lead off first and second. Fry into the wind. The 1-2 pitch on the way is way outside all the way to the screen. And the runners are going to move up to second and third for Edgefield. So the wild pitch puts 2 runners in scoring position and brings the count even 2-2 to Addison Faust. Two-two pitch is on the way. High and outside, ball 3. The count's now full, 3-2 to Addison Faust. Three-two pitch. Swung on and missed for strike 3, a big strikeout for Miles Fry. Puts the second out on the board for Edgefield, keeps the runners at second and third, and brings up Justin Hammett to the plate. Justice, check that. And he is another tall young man, strong young man, who I suspect has a lot of pop in his bat. Justice stands in, runners at second and third. And the pitch is over Justice Hammett's head. I don't think he liked that too much. And ball 1 the count.
Talk him up, Chip. Let's go.
Runners again lead off second and third. 1-0 pitch on the way to Justice Hammett from Miles Fry. Instead to third, close play, and they pick off the runner at third to end the bottom of the third inning. Some good heads-up defense again by Bluffton American, and Edgefield denied the chance to take the lead. So we go to the top of the 4th here at Oscar Frazier Park in Bluffton, South Carolina. The game is all tied, 3-3. You're watching the 2019 Dixie Youth Ozone State Baseball Tournament live on the Beaufort County Channel. We'll be right back.
It's a beautiful day out here. Sunny today with light breezes, giving way to clouds in the afternoon. We could see some light precipitation to moderate precipitation later on, followed by powerful storm-like conditions. 90 miles per hour winds are expected. Authorities are asking everyone, stay indoors. Come on, that's it. Let's go.
Yes, sir. We go to the top of the 4th at Oscar Frazier Park. The game is all tied 3-3 between Edgefield and Bluffton.
Well, if there is elimination, we'll do the elimination and then any home run balls.
There is a beautiful shot of Field 3, the Leo Vanoni Memorial Field at Oscar Frazier Park. Robert Dixie operating that drone for Beaufort County. And boy, does he do a great job. And you can see the outskirts of Bluffton, South Carolina in the distance and all around Oscar Frazier Park. Wonder how the neighborhood felt Monday night when we were playing at 12:15. So another good baseball game. We saw a great game in Game 1 this evening between Northern Myrtle Beach and Union County. Northern Myrtle Beach winning 11-10. And here between Edgefield County and Bluffton American, we're all tied 3-3. And Nico Martucci will lead off for Bluffton American. Nico with a grand slam on Sunday, a 2-run game-tying home run Monday night. He also pitched well on Sunday. And as I've said a few times, One of the best trots around the bases I've ever seen. You can bake a cake while he's trotting around the bases, but still one of the best trots around the bases I've ever seen. Martucci ahead in the count, 1 ball and no strikes. Cole Beagles still on the mound for Edgefield, and the count's even now on Martucci, 1 ball, 1 strike. If he hits one out now or any time in this game, guys in the truck, get ready. Need to follow that man around the bases all the way. And as somebody in the truck just pointed out, outfielders respecting Martucci's power. They're backed up almost to the fence in the outfield, and he checks, swings, and misses. And Martucci behind in the count, 1-2. Mad at himself. Bradley Robbins waits on deck. Beagles looks in, gets his sign. 1-2 pitch on the way to Martucci. Fouled off, and the count stays 1-2. Beagles again with the sign. 1-2 pitch on the way to Martucci. Misses, and that evens the count, 2-2. Two-two pitch on the way. Inside, I don't know how it didn't hit Nico, but somehow he got out of the way, and the count's now full, 3-2. Bluffton would love to get the leadoff man on here in the top of the 4th. Beagles comes set and brings the 3-2 pitch to the plate, and it's high and tight. Good eye by Martucci, and it is a leadoff walk for Bluffton American. Lead go-ahead run now stands at first base with no outs, and that'll bring up Bradley Robbins. So Martucci gets a modest lead off first, but Beagle's still going to keep him honest over there. Gives him a courtesy throw. And Bradley Robbins stands in. And it's up high for ball 1 to Robbins. 1 ball, no strike. Martucci leads off first. He reached with a leadoff walk here in the top of the 4th. The pitch on the way to Robbins is a ball, and the count now 2-0. Two balls and no strikes. The count to Bradley Robbins. As Bluffton American bats at the top of the 4th and tries to take the lead for the first time in the game. Nico Martucci leads off first. Beagles come set. The pitch on the way. Big swing, no contact, and the count now 2-1. Two-one pitch is fouled back to the screen. That evens the count now 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The count to Bradley Robbins with Nico Martucci leading off first. There's a hit into left field, and Bluffton American has the first 2 men aboard here in the top of the 4th. A chance to take the lead for the first time this game. Solid single for Bradley Robbins. That brings up Miles Fry. Runners first and second, nobody out here in the top of the 4th, and a golden opportunity for Bluffton to take the lead for the first time this game. Miles Fry digs in the right-handed batter's box. Cole Beagles gets his sign. The runners get their leads. And the pitch on the way to Miles Fry. Inside all the way to the screen. Bluffton's going to move up to second and third. That's a wild pitch for Cole Beagles, and that allows 2 runners to move into scoring position with nobody out here in the top of the 4th. And now time called, and Edgefield County's coach makes his way to the pitcher's mound. Might just be a pep talk, might be a pitching change. We'll see in just a second.
Y'all ever watch The Sandlot? Remember when Gary Busey comes out and tells him to pitch with his hand to? He says, it's what you go to when you're afraid. Oh, that's Rookie of the Year. You're right. Rookie of the Year. You're right.
We're finished with it now, Zach. I'm now fixing Edgefield County.
That's the one where Tom Candy is going to
Justice
be the
Hammond.
announcer.
Final pitch count for Cole Beagles, 15 pitches.
You think he did now? You say that. He was also an American Pie. The kid that played Henry Rowengartner in Rookie of the Year. Yeah. Yep. Yes, they always do. All right, there's a chance for Bluffton.
Bluffton American with a chance to take the lead. They have runners on second and third, nobody out. In a tie game, they trailed at one point in this game, 3-0. They've battled back to tie it. Now a chance to take the lead, and let's see what happens. Miles Fry will be the batter for Bluffton when play resumes. Justice Hammett is now on the mound for Edgefield, so big, strong Justice Hammett takes over on the mound.
Either way, they're going to play tomorrow. There's a coin flip. If Bluffton wins, there'll be a coin flip.
Pitch on the way to Miles Fry. Misses for ball 2, 2-0 the count.
If Edgefield wins, there's no coin flip. They play Morgan Myrtle Beach, and if they win the first game tomorrow at 10, they win the ball game.
2-0 pitch on the way. Is right through there for a strike, and the count's now 2-1. No outs in the top of the 4th. Runners at second and third for Bluffton American. A 2-1 count to Miles Fry. Now 3-1 as that pitch is in the dirt. And Justice Hammett and Edgefield in some trouble. The game is tied 3-3. Bluffton with runners at second and third. And it's a 3-ball, 1-strike count. To Miles Fry. The pitch on the way is ball 4, and Bluffton has loaded the bases with nobody out. So Roman Colella will come up to bat for Bluffton American in a key moment in this ball game for both teams. Edgefield trying to keep the game tied. Bluffton American trying to take the lead. Bases loaded, nobody out, tie game. Roman Colella stands in against Justice Hammett. Hammett into the wind. The pitch is in the dirt for ball 1, and a good stop by the catcher to keep the runners from advancing and the go-ahead run from scoring. 1 ball, no strikes the count. Hammett might have tried to guide that just a little bit too much. Runners get their leads off first, second, and third. Justice Hammett looks in, gets his sign. Pitch on the way is taken for a strike. And the count's even now, 1 ball and 1 strike. Colella gets right back in the batter's box. Hammett works quickly, 1-1 pitch on the way. It's hit to third, fielded by the third baseman, across to first in time. But on the play, the go-ahead run scores. That's Nico Martucci crossing home plate. And for the first time in this game, Bluffton American has the lead. It's 4-3. Give Roman Colella an RBI on the ground out, put runners on second and third. And now Max Van Esselstyn, the batter. 4-3, Bluffton American. The pitch on the way to Van Esselstyn. Hit foul up toward first. No balls, 1 strike the count. Runners get their leads off second and third. Van Esselstyn awaits the 0-1 pitch. Here it is. And he hits it back up through the middle, fielded by the second baseman, who throws on to first. Going to be close and late. Another run in for Bluffton. They now lead 5-3. There's a hustle from Max Van Esselstyn to beat that out. It was a close play at first, but Van Esselstyn beats it. 5-3 Bluffton. Runners still at first and third, still just 1 out. And now Scotty Boudreau stands in. Runner goes from first, and he is going to make second without a throw. So 2 more runners in scoring position here for Bluffton. Boudreau a chance to add some insurance. Hammett's pitch is swung on and missed for strike 1. As you might expect, Hammett throws very hard. And these young men who probably throw in the 70s, their fastball, equivalent to 90s in the major leagues, so pretty darn fast. There's a foul back to the screen, and the count goes to 0-2 on Scotty Boudreau. 5-3, Bluffton American with the lead. And yet another exciting baseball game right here live on the Beaufort County Channel, the 2019 Dixie Ozone State Tournament. Fans have gotten their money's worth, that's for sure. The pitch on the way is down low in the dirt, and the count goes to 1-2 on Scotty Boudreau. 0-2 pitch on the way. Big swing and a miss. And down on strikes goes Scotty Boudreau. That's the second out. Check that. In the top of the fourth. Runners remain at second and third. And now Talon Putnam, the batter for Bluffton. Two runs have scored for Bluffton American here in the top of the fourth, and they have taken the lead 5-3 over Edgefield County. The pitch to the plate is in there for a strike, 0-1 to Talon Putnam. The pitch on the way, swing and a miss. Count goes to 0-2. Looks like the catcher might be shaken up a little bit for Edgefield. Not sure exactly what happened. May just be that the young man's hot. It is a hot, muggy night in Bluffton, South Carolina. Justice Hammett gives him a pat on the back and heads back to the pitcher's mound. The count's no balls and 2 strikes on Talon Putnam. Bluffton has runners at second and third. 2 runs are in. They lead 5-3. Hammett into the wind. 0-2 pitch on the way. Swung on and missed for strike 3. And as Justice Hammett leaves the mound, he pumps his fist and brings Edgefield to bat in the bottom of the fourth, now trailing for the first time in this game. They trail by 2. It's 5-3. Bluffton American. We'll be right back for the bottom of the fourth inning right here on the Beaufort County channel. You are top of the bottom of the fourth, right? Yes. You are watching the Dixie Youth Ozone State Tournament live on the Beaufort County channel. We go to the bottom of the fourth inning. Bluffton now leads 5-3 as Edgefield comes to bat. Justice Hammett, who's on the mound now for Edgefield, going to lead off here in the bottom of the fourth inning. I believe Miles Fry is still on the mound for Bluffton. He is, and it's the first pitch to Hammett's outside for ball 1. One ball, no strikes to Justice Hammett. Fry into the wind. The pitch on the way. Outside. 2-0 the count. Fry works quickly, and he brings the 2-0 pitch to the plate, and that's nowhere near ball 3. 3-0 pitch is right through there, and the count now 3-1. Three-one pitch on the way. That finds the strike zone. Good pitch on the outside corner. 3-2. Hammett disagrees and slams the bat down near home plate. Now he takes a walk out toward his coach. Three balls and two strikes to Justice Hammett, leading off the bottom of the fourth, with Bluffton American out on top 5-3. Fry into the wind, the pitch on the way. That's rifled all the way to the wall on the ground by Justice Hammett. You don't see that every day. That was a scalded ball. These are some intense competitors, these young men. So Justin Hammett leads off first. Good start for Edgefield. And now Evan Bates, the batter, and the pitch on the way from Fry. Misses for ball one. One-0 pitch on the way. On the outside corner for a strike. Snap throw to first. Justice Hammett standing on the bag. One pitch on the way, and that's a huge chop to the pitcher, who throws on to first in time. Down to second goes Justice Hammett. Works the same as a sacrifice for Edgefield and gets a runner in scoring position. That's one out in the bottom of the fourth. And that brings up Jay Willis.
Number 7, Jay Willis.
Fry gets a sign from Henry Parrott. He comes set, and the pitch to the plate misses for ball one. One 1-0 pitch on the way. Off-speed pitch has Willis out in front, and he swings through it for strike one. The count's even now 1-1. One pitch on the way. Outside, almost like a pitch out, and the count goes to 2-1. Fry works very quickly. A 2-1 pitch on the way. It's a curveball. Misses the corner, and the count now 3-1. 5-3 Bluffton American, as Edgefield bats in the bottom of the fourth with the runner on at second and one out. 3-1 pitch on the way, and that's hit fair down the right field line into the corner. Justice Hammett rounds third. He's going to score. The game is a one-run game now. Hammett scores the fourth run of the game for Edgefield. It's now 5-4. And that'll be an RBI double for Jay Willis. And Edgefield with the tying run aboard in scoring position down at second, just the one out. Gage Cockrell now the batter for Edgefield. And Cockrell takes ball one. Jay Willis, the runner at second. His RBI double has pulled Edgefield to within just one run. Fry comes set, and the pitch is hit out toward right field. That's going to get down for a base hit. They're going to hold the runner up at third, and Edgefield is going to, the ball gets away. Not far enough for the runner from third to advance, but the runner from first moves down to second. So runners will be on second and third for Edgefield. They've pulled to within 1 run, and now Darius Simpkins will be the batter for Edgefield. And danger lurking here for Bluffton American. 2 runners in scoring position for Edgefield, and a very strong young man up to bat. So another big moment in this ball game. Edgefield's pulled to within just 1 run, and they have the tying run on at third, the go-ahead run down at second, just 1 out. And Darius Simpkins, the batter. Miles Fry looks in, gets his sign from Henry Parrott. And now time called. And Darius Simpkins is going to be given a free pass, and he's not too happy about that. He will trot down to first with an intentional walk. That will load the bases with 1 out. And that brings up Daly Hitt. Hitt started this game on the mound for Edgefield. And he hits the first pitch, pops it up into center field. Everybody chasing it, caught by the center fielder, and everybody's going to have to stay put. That's a big out for Bluffton American. That's 2 down now in the bottom of the 4th. All 3 runners have to stay put. It's still a 1-run game with Bluffton in the lead 5-4. And Ethan Stovall will be the batter for Edgefield. Bases loaded, 2 outs and a run in for Edgefield. Bluffton leads 5-4. The pitch to Stovall. That's hit into center field. And the center fielder catches it. It knuckled a little bit on him there at the end, but he hangs on to it for out number 3, and a good job of pitching by Miles Fry. Bluffton maintains the lead as we go to the top of the 5th at Oscar Frazier Park in Bluffton, South Carolina. This Dixie Youth Ozone State Tournament game sees Bluffton American on top of Edgefield County 5-4. We'll be right back for the top of the 5th.
The County Channel is also available on video on demand. Go to BeaufortCountySC.gov, scroll down to Public Meetings, click Watch Now, and then click the Video on Demand button and select your program from the list.
Call the meeting to order.
If you'd like a DVD of this program, click on the link on the right and fill out the order form. And thank you for watching the County Channel.
We head to the top of the 5th inning with Bluffton American on top 5-4. Another great ball game right here on the Beaufort County Channel. Bluffton was behind 3-0 at one point, and they've come all the way back to lead 5-4. Edgefield will try to pull even here in the 5th inning. Check that, Bluffton American's up. Getting confused on who's. The jerseys look so similar, it's hard to tell who's doing what. But Bluffton American's up at bat, Edgefield's in the field in the top of the 5th inning. So Bluffton tries to add on to this 5-4 lead. And they'll do it with Colin Hetzel, whose 2-run single evened the game back at 3 a couple innings ago. Justice Hammett still on the mound for Edgefield. And Hetzel came out of his shoes to swing at that. And he came up empty, and that evens the count now 1-1. Hammett, as we've said before, is a big guy, and he throws, as you might imagine, very hard. One pitch about to be delivered to Colin Hetzel, and here it is. And it misses down low. Ball 2, 2-1 the count. Pitch is hit right back to the mound and caught in the air by Justice Hammett for the first out in the top of the 5th inning. 1 up and 1 down. That'll bring up Jackson Arsenault.
Number 4, Jackson Arsenault.
Arsenault stands in. Hammett gets his sign, and he brings it to the plate. And it's ball 1 to Jackson Arsenault. One-oh pitch on the way. Fouled back to the screen. The count's even now 1-1. Base is empty. 1 out. Top of the 5th. Bluffton American holding on to a 1-run lead, 5-4 over Edgefield. Edgefield came into this game as the only undefeated team in this tournament. Bluffton American trying to change that here this evening. Pitch on the way. It's a bunt, and it's a good bunt, but it goes foul. And the count now 1-2. I've called a lot of Bluffton's games this tournament, and it always seems like Jackson Arsenault is trying to make something happen, either by laying down a bunt, taking the extra base. He's a good-looking young player. And he's trying to get on base and help Bluffton pad this lead. Just a slim 1-run lead right now. The pitch on the way from Hammett is outside. And the count is even now, 2-2. Two-two pitch on the way, and there's a swing and a miss. Jackson Arsenault goes down swinging. He chased what he thinks probably would have been ball 3, but it's a strikeout and 2 outs in the top of the 5th for Justice Hammett. Base is empty. And it brings up Nico Martucci. Nico Martucci is just, for Bluffton American, is just as intense as Justice Hammett is for Edgefield. If he could get a hold of one here, it would be interesting to see how he'd react. But he takes ball 1, 1 ball, no strikes. One-oh pitch on the way. Strike, and the count's even, 1-1. Hammett again ready. 1-1 pitch on the way to Martucci. Off-speed pitch that stayed outside, and the count's 2-1. Two-one pitch on the way. That's it into right field. Right fielder barely has to move, and that's out number 3 in the top of the 5th inning. So Bluffton American turned away in the top of the 5th. We head to the bottom of the 5th. Bluffton American clings to a 1-run lead. They lead 5-4 over Edgefield County. And we'll be right back for the bottom of the 5th right here on the Beaufort County Channel.
29.
He's kind of. We head to the bottom of inning 5. Edgefield will try to at least even the score, if not take the lead here in the bottom of the 5th. They led it 1.3 to nothing, but Bluffton's come all the way back to take the lead 5-4. Miles Fry still on the mound for Bluffton. And a very important game. If Bluffton wants to survive into Championship Thursday, they need to win this game. And right now they lead by 1, 5-4. These are 6-inning games, so we are getting kind of late in the bottom of the 5th. And for Edgefield, it's Braden McAllister, so we're back at the top of the order against Miles Fry. Great crowd of vocal crowd. Everybody cheering loudly for their team and their players. Why not? They've given everything they've had in this tournament. There's going to be some tired young men heading home when this thing's all over tomorrow, not to mention some tired volunteers and staff people for the county channel and Beaufort County in general. And that pitch is hit toward third and booted by the third baseman, recovers and throws on to first wide, and that's going to end up in an extra base for Edgefield. So that's an inauspicious start for Bluffton American here in the bottom of the 5th. Braden McAllister reaches and then makes second on a throwing error by the shortstop. So the tying run stands down at second with nobody out, and Addison Faust stands in. It's a reactionary thing to try to throw the ball once you get it, but there are times in baseball, and even pros do this, where you're better off just sticking it in your pocket. And that was one of those cases, but Edgefield has a runner at second with nobody out, a chance to tie the game, and it's a 1-ball, 1-strike count to Addison Faust. Fry looks in, gets his sign. McAllister leads off second. Now snap throw down to second, fairly close, but McAllister back. Faust digs in, the runner leads off second. The pitch on the way, swing and a miss. Fry gives the runner a glance, brings it to the plate, and it's fouled off the screen. Miles Fry comes set. And the pitch is in there for strike 3, and Addison Faust slams the bat down. Can't believe that was called a strike, but that's a big first out for Miles Fry and Bluffton American. Runner still at second now with 1 out. And here's that man again, Justice Hammett. Pitch is outside, good stop by Henry Parrott. And the count's 1 ball, no strikes. One-oh pitch on the way. Big swing and hit high and deep to right field, back toward the corner. And it's a fair ball. Edgefield is going to tie the game. Justice Hammett just missed, giving Edgefield the lead. It is a RBI double down the right field line, and Edgefield has come back. The game is tied 5-5. What a game. that was just fair and almost snuck out of here down by the foul pole. But it's an RBI double for Hammett. He becomes the runner at second. The game is tied 5-5. And Evan Bates becomes the batter. And he hits it to the shortstop, takes a funny hop. The shortstop throws on to first wide, and everybody's going to be safe. The ball took a funny hop on the shortstop. He hurried his throw. The throw pulled Martucci off the bag at first. And so Edgefield now in a position to retake the lead here in the bottom of the fifth. The game is tied 5-5. Runners are at first and third. And Jay Willis now the batter. And a meeting on the mound for Bluffton American. Back and forth and all around. These games have been entertaining, intense, and the young men we've seen have really showcased their talent and their skills. 5-5 our score with one out in the bottom of the fifth. Griffin Thompson's going to run it first for Edgefield. First and third for Edgefield. One out, 2 runs in. Tie game 5-5. Jay Willis stands in. Check that, just 1 run in this inning. They scored the 4th run last time up. So 1 run in for Edgefield. The game is tied 5-5. That pitch is hit to the shortstop on the fly and caught, and that's a huge second out. That keeps the runners at first and third and keeps the game tied.
Number 6, Cockrell.
And now Gage Cockrell comes to bat, and it'll take a 2-out hit from Cockrell if Edgefield is going to retake the lead here in the bottom of the fifth. The pitch is hit into left field, a base hit. Edgefield has retaken the lead. It is 6-5, an RBI single for Gage Cockrell. And he comes through with 2 outs in a pressure situation, and he gives Edgefield the lead. And now Darius Simpkins, the batter, with runners on first and second, and now 2 runs in for Edgefield. And Simpkins will try to add on to that 1-run lead. Runners get their leads off first and second. Miles Fry brings it to the plate. Huge swing and a miss for strike 1. Miles Fry comes set. The runners get their leads off first and second. The pitch to the plate's in there for a strike. No balls and 2 strikes to Darius Simpkins. Oh-2 pitch on the way. Fouled off, and the count stays 0-2. Fry gets his sign from Henry Parrott. Runners get their leads off first and second. 0-2 pitch on the way to Simpkins. Big swing and a foul off the screen. The count stays 0-2. 6-5. Edgefield has retaken the lead here in the bottom of the fifth. And Bluffton American with 1 more swing to either tie the game or take the lead when they come to bat in the top of the 6th. Simpkins digs back in. And he awaits the 0-2 pitch from Miles Fry. Fry comes set. 0-2 pitch on the way. high for ball one. Swing and a miss, and Simpkins goes down swinging. That's a huge strikeout for Miles Fry, and that prevents further damage here in the bottom of the fifth. But Edgefield retakes the lead. They score 2 runs, and we head to the top of the sixth. Edgefield 3 outs away from moving on in this tournament. Bluffton American will try to prevent that as we come back in just a few moments for the top of the sixth right here on the Beaufort County Channel.
Cars all over Beaufort County are being targeted by thieves. We want to remind you not to leave valuables in your car and to keep your doors locked. If you have any information about recent thefts, please contact the Beaufort County Sheriff's Office or Crime Stoppers.
So here we go, top of the sixth inning. Edgefield leads 6-5. One more chance for Bluffton American. Lots on the line here in the top of the sixth inning. If Edgefield wins this game and eliminates Bluffton American, they will face North Myrtle Beach tomorrow at 10 a.m. right here on the Beaufort County Channel. If Edgefield wins that game, they will be crowned the Ozone State Tournament champions. If North Myrtle Beach wins that first game, there will be a second game between Edgefield and North Myrtle Beach at 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. If Bluffton comes back and wins this game, they will force a coin flip to determine who will play North Myrtle Beach in the first game tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Actually, the loser of that coin flip would play the game. The winner would get the bye, and they would be automatically in the championship game. So lots on the line here for both teams in the top of the sixth inning. This game has been back and forth and all around. Edgefield had a 3-0 lead. Bluffton American came back and tied it. Then they took the lead 5-3, and now Edgefield's come back to lead 6-5. So long way to go yet. 3 outs are a long way away for both teams as we play in the top of the sixth inning. New pitcher for Edgefield, Jay Willis, will try to nail it down for his team. Edgefield entered this game as the only undefeated team in the tournament. They're trying to leave this game that same way.
Leading off Bluffton American, number 9, Bradley Robbins.
Bluffton American will start with Bradley Robbins here in the top of the sixth. And here we go. Robbins stands in. Jay Willis on the mound. He gets his sign. And the first pitch is all the way to the screen for ball one. You wouldn't expect that this game would be a 15-2 type game, and it sure hasn't been. 6-5. A 1-run game, and now a 2-ball, no-strike count to Robbins. Robbins showing some patience. He knows that if he can get aboard, he represents the tying run, and that's huge. 2-0 pitch is nowhere near ball 3. Plate jumping around here a little bit on Jay Willis. And Justice Hammett comes in from first to try to settle Willis down. Justice Hammett was the previous pitcher for Edgefield. So 3 balls, no strikes to Bradley Robbins. 3-0 pitch on the way is right through there for a strike. 3-1 the count. 3-1 pitch is on the corner for strike 2. Close pitch, borderline pitch, called a strike. Three-2 pitch on the way. Popped up foul out of play, and the count's going to stay 3-2. These young men, and we've seen this all tournament, are not afraid to show you their emotions. And why not? There's a lot at stake. They've played very hard, practiced very hard to get to this point. 3-2 pitch on the way. Off-speed pitch is way inside, and Bluffton American gets the leadoff man on here in the top of the 6th. Robbins represents the tying run, and he trots down to first. And now a very good hitter, Miles Fry, steps up for Bluffton American.
Gotcha. 45 for 9, thank you.
Tannen Mankowski is going to come in and run at first. So Mankowski runs for Robbins, and Miles Fry is going to stand in the batter's box. 6-5, Edgefield has the lead, but Bluffton American trying to at least tie it, if not regain the lead here in the top of the 6th. Snap throw to first, and very close. But back safely, Mankowski. That would have hurt if he'd been picked off for Bluffton American. But he's back safely, and Miles Fry stands in. Willis with the pitch. It's on the corner for strike 1. I don't think Fry agreed with that call either. Oh, 1 pitch on the way, outside. The count's even 1-1. Willis into the wind, runner going, pitch is a strike. The throw down to second is into center field. It's a stolen base for Bluffton, and the tying run is now at second base. It's a 2-ball, 1-strike count to Miles Fry. Check the count. Apparently it's 1 ball and 2 strikes to Miles Fry. So the 1-2 pitch is on the way, and that's popped up on the infield and caught out behind second base for the first out in the top of the 6th. So there's a first. That's a big first out for Edgefield. Runner stays at second for Bluffton. And now Roman Colella, the batter. Bluffton with the tying run on at second. Edgefield 2 outs away from moving on in this tournament. Willis's pitch is in there for a strike, 0-1. The fans are cheering loudly on both sides. A great crowd tonight. And they've been treated to a great game. 6-5 our score. Tying run down at second for Bluffton. The pitch on the way. Off-speed pitch has Colella out in front, and Colella's now down on the 2 strikes, 0-2. Off-speed pitch just misses the outside corner and takes the count to 1-2. Willis is working quickly, gives the runner a glance back to second and brings it to the plate, and it's swung on and missed. They'll have to throw him out. They do so. There's 2 outs now in the top of the 6th. The runner for Bluffton American moves up to third. So here we go. 2 outs. 6-5 lead for Edgefield. Bluffton American with the tying run at third base. And Max Van Esselston stands in for Bluffton. Jay Willis looks in, gets his sign. Van Esselston awaits the pitch, and he takes strike one. Tannen Mankowski, the runner at third for Bluffton American. There are 2 outs in the top of the 6th inning. Edgefield clings to a 6-5 lead. The 0-1 pitch is on the way to Van Esselston. Fouled back to the screen, 0-2. So Bluffton potentially down to their last strike in this tournament. No balls, 2 strikes to Max Van Esselston. Tannen Mankowski, the runner at third. 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. Edgefield leads 6-5. Willis gets his sign. The pitch on the way is swung on and missed for strike 3. Edgefield holds on. They remain undefeated in this Ozone tournament. And Bluffton American, who played their hearts out this entire tournament, goes home with their heads held high. Final score, Edgefield County 6, Bluffton American 5. This game was everything you could have hoped for. And unfortunately, someone has to go home, but it's the host team, Bluffton American. So Edgefield moves on, and it'll be Edgefield versus Northern Myrtle Beach tomorrow at 10 a.m. If Edgefield wins that game tomorrow at 10 a.m., they will be the champions of this Dixie Youth Ozone State Tournament, and they will do so undefeated. If Edgefield should lose that first game tomorrow to North Myrtle Beach, then a second game would be played at 2 o'clock, and that would be a winner-take-all game. So that's where it stands. We are down to 2 teams. If Edgefield wins at 10 a.m., they win the tournament. If North Myrtle Beach wins at 10 a.m., we play a second game tomorrow at 2 o'clock. So until tomorrow at 10 o'clock, thank you for tuning in to the Beaufort County Channel. We hope you've enjoyed both games. In the first game, North Myrtle Beach defeated Union 11-10. And in the second game, Edgefield defeats Bluffton American 6-5. Thank you for tuning in. We remind you that you can purchase this tournament at BeaufortCountySC.gov, BeaufortCountySC.gov. You can purchase DVDs of this Dixie Youth Ozone Tournament. So until tomorrow, for the Beaufort County Channel, I'm Jody Vermilia. We'll see you tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock right here on the Beaufort County Channel.